Hi, welcome to the Leadership Doctor, where we talk about all things leadership. I'm Dr. Christine Fusilier. Today we're going to talk about blind eye leadership. Now, blind eye leadership sounds exactly like what it is. When we turn a blind eye to what's happening within our organization, and as long as we're getting the result that we want, then it has detrimental impacts to not only the organization, but the people. Blind eye leaders typically don't want to know how you got it as long as you got it by sometimes any means necessary. And when you think in that vein, you have to think, wow, well, does that mean I have to cheat, lie, and steal to do it? In some cases, blind eye leadership fosters that kind of behavior. And that's not where you want to go in an organization. You want to be in an organization where someone sees it and they call it out, or they say, no, that's not the right way to do that. We don't do things because we're trying to get to a number. We do things, especially when you're dealing with your customers, for the benefit of my customer. Like, is it going to help my customer? Or is it going to help the employees to get better? Blind eye leadership is, blind eye, when you hear willful blindness, that's a legal term. Even in a court of law, you can't use that as a defense. Because even if you didn't know or you didn't see it legally and from a leadership perspective, you should. If you're the leader, you should have some kind of awareness of what's happening in your organization. And think of it like this. Excuse me. I don't want to be in a position where I have to get in front of any lawyer, Congress, reporter, trying to explain why I made a decision that I made. Because if you're aware of what's happening in your organization, you won't get caught with that, like a deer in the headlights look, right? So I read an excerpt from here. Sometimes blind eye leadership comes when we grow up together in an organization. So let me explain. Sometimes people work with each other for years. 10, 20, 25, 30 years. And because you work with the person, you've established a relationship with them, no doubt. And we tend to forgive people we have a relationship with. We tend to overlook some of their incompetence because we like them. They're nice. They're sweet. You knew at one point they were really good at what they did, or they had a big, what they call made a splash, where they did something really huge for the organization. So there's a sense of loyalty there. So you may turn a blind eye to mishaps, performance issues, relationship building issues, people management issues. You may turn a blind eye because that relationship is more important to you versus the call-in culture that you would like. If someone's doing something that is bad behavior, then you have what we call a call-in culture. You have a conversation, an honest, raw conversation with people. So that the blind eye leadership can lead to even more bad behavior because you're not holding people accountable. So again, that's a chapter in the book. I encourage you to review them. There's so many incidences where we see blind eye leadership, and sometimes we don't react until it's too late. By then, you have caused damage to your organization, to your reputation, to your credibility. So it is very important that if you feel like you may have some of the characteristics of a blind eye leader, then you want to check that so that you can go in with eyes wide open. And sometimes that's painful, but it's also important that you display that, because then your employees will display it as well. I hope this was helpful. Please join us next time. Remember, our goal is to make leadership great again.